And we'll talk about how to get the traffic and the audience in a moment. I'll give you some ideas. Once you get that traffic, they're going to go into an initiation sequence. I'll also break this down for you in a moment. What is that and what does that look like? So they come in, we're going to initiate them. You could also think of that as a welcome, a warm welcome. We're not talking about an initiation where we get people drunk and someone doesn't make it out alive. Not that kind of initiation. I mean, like really welcoming them into your family with that kind of experience. Then they'll be primed and ready to receive your talk. Your talk, again, is going to be really high value, high content. I'll share with you how to do that in a moment. Your offer is going to be comfy, also high converting. So I don't just mean let everybody off the hook, because look, making a big decision to change your life, your marriage, your weight, your brand, whatever it is you help people do, it's a big decision. So we definitely want to encourage people, but that's different than pressuring, right? So we're going to create a really comfortable scenario where people can raise their hands and say yes to your offer. And then at this moment, when they say yes, some of them are going to rise straight up into your higher and mid offer. But most people are going to go into that entry level offer, right? And that's going to allow them, A, to say yes to you, and you can start serving them in your entry level offer. And by the way, while they're in here being served by your entry level offer, you're preparing them and preparing like the most well-suited to work with you people in this bucket here to rise up into one of your higher level offers. And there's some things that we can do over here, a sequence of events that we can do to lead them from your entry level up into a higher end offer. So again, traffic, we warm them up and initiate them, welcome into your family. We give them a great Rockin Talk with content, a comfortable, inspiring close that gets the right people to raise their hand. Those people who are really ready and want that higher level of customization, support, kind of done for you and done with you, they're going to go straight up into your high-end offer. But most people are going to go into your entry level. But while you're serving them, we can create a little sequence to support them to rise up when they're ready. Boom, chaka laka boom. So let's talk about this right here, traffic and audience. How do we get it? What does it look like? So where can you find audiences? You can host a live talk and fill a room of people yourself, right? You can do that. You could speak to rooms already gathered. I'm a much bigger fan of that for what are probably obvious reasons. It's a lot less heavy lifting and you get exposure to a lot more new people if you're speaking to outside groups that are already gathering every month and they need a great speaker. Great. So that's now you. Then you can sponsor an event or a workshop. That's where you would actually invest to get in front of an audience. It's not a place to start, but for those of you who are already getting good results, I can definitely help you make that a profitable experience. You can host an online webinar to your own list of subscribers. We could also promote it using Facebook ads, which we'll talk about a little later. You could host a webinar to a partner or colleagues list of subscribers where they send their people to your webinar. You probably want to share some profits with them to say thank you. And then again, you can advertise online. So let's talk about groups already gathered, because I already shared with you that's one of my favorite places for you to get an audience, because it's the least amount of lifting for you and it's the highest profit potential because you're getting visible to new people. They're not already subscribers, they're people who haven't met you yet. So that's great. So one way to find events and places to speak, groups already gathered, is just to Google for conferences, events, workshops, meetings, things like that. So you can search your industry and you can search the industry you serve. Meaning if you are in, let's say you are a fitness guru, you could search for fitness events. And if the people who take your fitness courses are business people, you might also search for business networking events. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's kind of two different groups. So I could search for marketing events because I'm kind of a marketing and sales person, but I could also look to industries I serve and say, okay, well, what about fitness experts? What about health experts? What about financial experts? Because those are industries I serve. What about people who own personal and professional development companies that need their talk and their brand created for all their speakers to go out and deliver, right? So you can Google, and by the way, you can even just Google the city that you live in or the state you live in, and words like meeting, networking group, association, and you're going to get lots of stuff popping up. Those are all places that you can reach out and offer to solve some problems for their audience and deliver your talk. 2 is you can reach out to colleagues. So you can call colleagues and friends and ask them, do they have an event coming up, or do they know of events where your content would be helpful and supportive of the audience? Again, if you notice the way I'm languaging this, I teach this inside the Get More Gigs program. Everything that we do when we're talking about speaking at an event, we're not talking about ourselves, right? We're circling back to this. We're not being a me monster. Instead, I'm saying if this content would be useful to your audience, if solving this problem would help your tribe, that is the way you book speaking gigs, offering to help the audience. You don't need to talk about yourself. So that's a relief for those of you that are introverts. And then every talk you give, you can ask for referrals to more speaking opportunities. So we actually have like a little form. It's not very complicated, right? It's like, what's your name? What's your phone number? What company are you with? And then 5 spots for them to tell you another event, networking group, person that you should connect with, that they think would really enjoy your message. So then when you call that group, you call that event, you call that manager, that sales manager of a company, and you say, hey, Bob over at Remax just had me out to speak to his realtors, and he thought that you would love to have me out to share my program at your next sales meeting as well. That person is way more likely to say yes and book you. Much less likely. Much more likely. Very, very easy to book gigs off of referrals. So again, you can Google around and find places to speak. Ask your friends and colleagues. They'll definitely know people who would really enjoy your content because they already know you and your vibe. And then 3 is always ask for referrals. Train yourself to ask for referrals. You'll never have to wonder where your next gig is coming from again, because you'll always have a stack of places to speak to. So we talked about all these different ways to get an audience. I just shared with you how to reach groups already gathered. Let's talk a little bit about how to find good audiences on Facebook should you venture. And I do definitely, I can show you how to do this really profitably. And finding the right audience is an important step. So if you go into your ad manager, click on Audience Insights and put in a direct competitor. So if you were like a wealth building expert, you could type in Susie Orman, and then you're going to click on the page likes button and you're going to see all these people pop up. So you could literally run ads to all of these people who follow Ileana Van Zant, people who follow JJ Smith, Clark Howard, Susie Orman, and now you're collecting an audience of people who would probably enjoy your ad or your content. Now, the second way you can use Audience Insights is to target your ideal client. So here we're targeting direct competitors. Here we're targeting your ideal client. So let's say you teach wealth building. These are direct competitors, but you love working with realtors. Now you type in the word realtors into the search box and you're going to get a list that looks like this. So if you run your ad to the National Association of Realtors, big duh, you're obviously going to reach realtors. Yeah, it works super well. And then the third way that you can reach a great audience on Facebook is to create a custom audience. And you can do that in 2 different ways. One is you can import your own list of clients. So all you need is their email. That's all you need. You upload in a CSV file your email list, and it'll run your ad to everybody who's got their email in on Facebook. Or you could even buy a list. So if you go into Google and you search for lead lists, you'll see tons of companies coming up. Sales Genie is just one of them, where you can buy a list of like sales managers or realtors or homeowners or whatever it is you want to reach. Import that list. All you really need is their phone number or their email. Again, pop that into Facebook as a custom audience. And now you can run your ad just to that very targeted list of people. The good news with a custom audience, whether you buy a list or you import your own, is it's very targeted. So it costs you a lot less money. You're not advertising to all of Facebook. In other words, you're just, running an ad to the 20 or 50,000 people on your email list, or 10,000, or however many it is. Okay, great. So again, you can target your direct competitors, target your ideal client, or import a client list or a lead list into Facebook and run your ad, and therefore you're going to reach a much more targeted audience. So that's traffic and audience. We just gave you two different ways, getting in front of groups already gathered and running ads. Those aren't the only way, but just two ways. And now let's talk about how to initiate people or warm them up once you have brought them in and they're going to be coming to your talk or your webinar. How do we warm them up so that they're ready, so you don't start from like cold stranger zone, right? So here is your initiation sequence. And the good news is, once you create this, you're going to set it and forget it, right? This is like a crock pot of marketing in that you don't have to keep creating this over and over again. So if it feels like a lot of steps or a lot of work, remind yourself you create it once and then you can use it for as long as you like. So the first thing is a real quick enticer video. And those of you who have seen my Talk One Sheet template, and I'll make sure we email that out as a resource, like the digital version of that after this class, that could be used as your script for this video. So all we really want to do, we want to keep this under 3 minutes. It can be really short. We're not looking for a big, long training here, but we want this video to get people excited about what they're going to learn in your talk. So we want it to be really entertaining and captivating, and we want it to pique their curiosity so that they're really curious about what you're going to teach in your class. And so that's the enticer video. It introduces the topic, how it's going to help them, and then curiosity building bullet points about what they're going to learn. So you wouldn't say, you would say like, I'll teach you the #1 thing you need to know about Facebook to make your ads work, right? That would be a curiosity building bullet point. Now I just shared with you 3 ways of finding audiences, right? So if I was going to create a bullet point for that, I might say, I'll share with you the top 3 ways of finding an audience on Facebook if you've never run an ad before. Boom. Okay. So that's the enticer video that gets people excited about your talk. Then we could give them like a little free gift, or sometimes I call that cool bleep. So let's give people something cool that they don't have to pay for. It's like a little gift, a present that again gives them a little taste of what it's like to work with you and builds trust and builds value and builds rapport, so that again, by the time you give your talk, they're all warmed up and ready. After that free gift, we could share a little story of someone who's put your work into action, your steps, your system, what you're going to teach in your talk. Let's share a story of a client who put that information to use and got great results. That's again going to get people excited. It's also going to prove your value. And then you could just send some friendly, simple reminders. Remember, the networking meeting at the chamber is on Friday. Can't wait to see you there. Or heads up, the live webinar is happening in an hour. Can't wait to see you on the line. So we definitely want to remind people, and then we're going to give your talk. So now by the time they get here, woo, they are on fire and ready to rock, baby. You've gotten them excited and curious about what they're going to learn. You gave them something cool that was free. They were like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Usually people make me buy stuff. Yeah, you're going to give them great content ahead of time. You're going to share with them a story. What does it look like if, from someone who actually put your expertise into good works for their life or for their business? And then you're going to remind them to attend your talk. Again, they're all fired up and ready by the time they arrive. So you might be wondering, well, what kind of cool shizzle, Kristin? So the cool gift that you give them should solve a hot problem. In other words, it's called cool shizzle for a reason. It should not be boring, and it should not be lame because it's free, like sign up for my free newsletter. Make it good. Now, you could pull something straight out of the course or program that you're going to offer at the end of your talk. Pull what I call a goodie, like a template, a script, a checklist, something really valuable that is in your course. Give it away ahead of time. I know you're like, that sounds nuts, but I do it all the time and it works really well. You might have seen these things. So here's that Talk One Sheet template I was telling you about. I'll email this to you. For everybody who watches this training, I'll send this off to you. So again, this could be the script basically that you use for your enticer videos. So here's the big problem. Here's how I can fix it. Here are the key things you're going to learn. Here's what some people are, saying, or here are some results that people are getting from implementing. It's all right here for you. So this template is really useful. People will send this off when they book gigs to remind the person who booked them of the value of their talk. And it also puts all of your marketing information in one place, and it makes the organization who's having you out not have to run around looking for, what was that talk about? What is her contact information? Do we have a picture we can use in the newsletter? All that kind of stuff. It's all in one place. The other thing I give away a lot is my Rockin Talk template. And I'm actually going to share this with you in a moment, but it's kind of like the high level talk structure, and that's really helpful to people. So these are things that I could give away prior to a talk. You want to come up with cool shizzle that you can give away. The solution, again, has to be high impact. The other big caveat is it cannot be a big, long project. It should not take hours, right, for me to implement this thing, or it's going to kind of lose its steam. Make sense? So if you're a PR client, I have clients who have publicity companies and they teach publicity. You might give away like a pitch structure on how to get TV. If you're wealth management, maybe it's a way to find money. Even if I don't earn anymore, I don't increase my income. How can I begin to find money that I could invest or put away for savings? For health, maybe it's a meal plan. If you're like a business or a management consultant, maybe it's some sort of performance enhancing ideas for my one-on-one meetings for the people I manage. If you're in professional development, maybe it's like profit boosters that people can add to their business without having to invest in any more employees or advertising or things like that. So we want it to be really high value. So just to recap, we've got your audience coming in so that we're attracting rockstar clients. We use the enticer video to warm them up and get them excited about the content you're going to share. We give them something cool that will give them kind of quick results in advance. We share some proof, a story of somebody implementing what you teach, and then we send them some simple reminders, and that brings them to your talk. Now, if you're wondering, well, how do I automate all this? You do that by just, when you find your audience, you're just going to send them to an opt-in page so that once they watch this video and they give you their email, all the rest of this can be sent automatically. So an opt-in page format for a great free gift, or if you're going to have people come to a webinar, would look like this. You've got your big headline, something that solves a problem. You've got an image. It could be an image of you, or I like to physicalize the thing we're going to give away, the free gift. We've got your curiosity creating bullet points here, and then a button that they click, and when they click that, that's when it asks for their email. So this is what that might look like in person. So how to host a Rockin' workshop or live event that can fill your client roster for the year, even if you're not famous. Here's the key things you're going to learn. Click here. So if I click that, it's going to ask for my email, and then when you give me your email, I'm going to send you the free gift. I'm going to send you some results. I'm going to send you reminders, and then you come to the class, and then I'm going to teach you on that topic. Make sense? So it's this same exact flow that we're talking about right here. So if you wanted to use an image of the free thing, it would just look like this. So here's an image of me doing a workshop. So that's one type of image you can share, is someone doing the thing you teach. Or the image could be the thing you're giving away, which works actually very, very well for most people. This will convert really well. But this format is what you want to use. Again, they click here, they give you their email, you send them the free gift, you send them the case study, like what does this look like in action? You send them reminders for the talk or the webinar. Off to the races you go. So the delivery page, like where the free content, the free video, the free downloads, all of that, even the time and place of the talk, you could have a reminder, can all sit on a delivery page that looks kind of like this. And now if you're saying, well, these pages, like this opt-in page and these delivery pages, they look kind of complicated. They might, but they're really easy. And they all sit inside of ClickFunnels. And I've been using ClickFunnels for a lot of years. It is by far my favorite program and templates that are out there. They are super high converting. My opt-in pages convert like crazy, super strong. And part of it's because I'm really good at marketing, right? This is obviously what I do for a living, but also look at the format I'm using really does follow their templates, and that's because they work. So in the resources that I send you after this webinar, I'll share a link with you so that if you want to get a free trial, it is my affiliate link. I don't make a ton of money off of it. I just like to share it because I actually like ClickFunnels just to know that I refer them. And I've been referring people to them for many, many years because I believe in it. So there are other platforms that have templates for sales pages and opt-in pages and things like that. ClickFunnels is not the only one. There's Lead Pages, Optimized Press, Unbounce, but the clients that I see get the best results and what I use for my own business is ClickFunnels. So I highly, highly recommend you use it. Definitely, if you become a client of mine, then there's some things that I can share with you, some templates we've already created that I can just share with you. If you have a ClickFunnels account, that would make your life and my life as your coach a lot easier. So again, we bring in your audience, we send them a little video that gets them excited about the talk. We give them something cool that they can use results in advance. We share with them stories of success of people working with you, whoop, reminders, and now they're ready for your talk. So here's that Rockin Talk template I was sharing with you earlier. And again, this will be in your resources as well, so you can download it and look at it. Now, we start obviously with the introduction of your talk. You want to share your personal story that builds trust. You can screenshot this if you want, but again, I'll just email you the PDF to make it easy for you. We have a gathering question, which allows you to get the room interacting with you. That's really important. If you want people to buy from you, you have to make them comfortable interacting with you, right? It shouldn't be a one-way street. We want to snap them out of any doldrum with a wow demo, something that'll whoop, whoop, awaken them, teach them some great main points. Then we're going to start sliding into your offer, tell them how to enroll, and wrap up. So it all follows a really great flow, and we could accordion out, like we could expand this out and say, here's the template for how do you start your talk. Here's the template for telling your story. But I don't want to get too bogged down in today's class, but I wanted to focus in on the main points because this is one of the top questions I get and where a lot of people make a mistake. So yeah, you know, the main points is where a lot of people say, don't teach any main points, right? Just teach the setup and why your topic is so important and share your story from rags to riches and then get people's attention and then tell them why they need the thing and then sell it to them. But we're going to do something a little more high value. It's going to feel really good to your audience. It's probably going to feel really good to you too. And it looks like this. And you can screenshot this or just more importantly, maybe grab your pen and just jot it down. So when you go to teach your main teaching points, let's say you have 3 main points in your talk. For thing number 1, you're going to say, here's thing number 1. Here's what it is and what it means. Here's why you need it. Here's why it's not working for you right now. These, I call these myths or misconceptions or missteps. I should just say the misses. Right? This is like how it's going wrong, why they don't have this step nailed already. Then you're going to teach them one rockin' way how to start to get this step right. Okay, so this is where there is an actual, all of this is going to teach them, but this is actual useful information right here. Notice it says one rockin' way how, not your lamest way how, but a really rockin' way how. And my litmus test for this is what's the most high impact thing I can teach on this step, whatever this step is, that people can get relatively quickly. So again, much like your free gift, it shouldn't be a 93-step project, but the most high impact thing, kind of like I'm teaching you right now, how do you teach your main points? Because this is a really high impact thing. This is going to help you convert more clients with your talk, but it also isn't going to take 9 hours for me to explain this to you. Okay. So what's one rockin' thing you could teach on this point? What else might they need to know on this step? So we're kind of in a rabbit hole here where I just shared with you, here's the talk structure. Now we could expand out and say, here's every step of the introduction. Here's how you tell your personal story. So I'm sharing with you what else you could learn on this structure while also teaching you a big chunk of it here, right? The main point template. So you want to be really clear what else people could learn that you don't have necessarily time to teach in your talk. You could share a case study, a story, whether it's from you or a client, of someone putting this step into action. What does it look like when it's working? That's really helpful to people, and it also will build their trust and get them excited about the results that are possible if they fully implemented whatever the step is that you're teaching. And then you want to kind of just recap what you just told them. So it will go like this. Here's your main point. Here's why it's so important. Here's how this gets all messed up. Here are like kind of the 3 big challenges holding people back. Here's one way to get it rocking. Here's what else you could learn on this step. Here's what it looks like when someone's putting it all in action. And then here's a quick recap of what you just learned. Bam! What we're doing as we're teaching your main point is you're just really being honest with people. Here's what I'm giving you on this step. Here's what I can give you right now on this step in this talk. And then here's what we could go into if we had more time, or here's what I'm able to give my clients. And so on the kind of the stuff that's still missing, that's the what else you could teach people, just be really straight up with people. Like, oh, in my class, in my course, we would actually give you the full template on this, all the how to tell the story. How do you tell your personal story? How do you choose which story to tell? What are wow demo ideas? How do you get people's attention in a way that's, really natural and on brand for you? So we give you lots of idea joggers for wow demos that could work for you. So you're just being really upfront and honest. Oh, we've got a script that'll help you do that. That's how you can naturally tell people how this goes further when they actually hire you. I hope that makes sense. Here's a bit of how that might sound like as a script kind of. So I've given you the high level roadmap of the Rockin Talk template just now. That's this. And, we could go into more detail and more detailed templates for each and every section, like how to open your talk, the wow demo, your story, all the way through to the 9 steps of the close. But just to make sure that this class isn't overwhelming, all I want you to focus on today is the big takeaway, which is how to teach your main points. So I'm like doing this while I'm teaching it to you. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that that's really helpful, that this example is super helpful to you. So in doing that, in teaching this actual great content in your talk, what happens again is we're really directing that content, that core content, towards the many, towards the middle level client. And we're letting all that content kind of radiate out, knowing that smarter clients understand, like if you already have a talk and maybe it's even somewhat structured this way, you're probably also smart enough to go, oh, okay, but Kristin probably could adjust my talk and make some tweaks to the content, maybe tweak the offer so it's more high converting. Smart clients get that, right? And if you're entry level, you're like, ooh, wow, this is like really awesome. I don't know if I can afford Kristin's $10,000 consulting, fee, but wouldn't it be awesome if I could work with her? That'd be cool. And so then when we create an opportunity where that could work for people, if we can, then they're going to get really excited about that. So we speak to the many and we're swooping in the beginners and the more advanced people in the right way. Again, remembering that 1 to 3% of every room is ready for that high-end offer. So the problem, or sort of the hidden challenge in this, is that a confused mind will say no. So if you, at the end of your talk or webinar, make 3 different offers, if you're a beginner, buy this. If you're in the mid-level, buy this. If you're advanced, buy that. If I started pitching 3 different programs right now, what happens is everybody gets confused, and a confused mind says no. So we don't want to do that. So instead, you're going to have one main offer, and you're going to offer it to the people who are ready to get rocking. This is like one of the things that we teach when we teach closing the room is, I'm not trying to cram everybody into an entry-level offer. I'm not trying to cram everybody into a high-end offer. That's not what we're doing. We're going to have one main offer, and we're only going to offer it for the people who are right for it. The main offer that we're going to make whenever we're giving that first talk is an entry-level offer. And an entry-level offer I define as $1,000 or less. It might be a little more depending upon your industry. It might be a little less, but just broad strokes, $1,000 or less. So that's likely going to be something like an online course, a home study course. Maybe it's a workshop ticket. Like we've got our Rise Live event coming up. I'm super excited about that. It could be a trial to a membership site. But again, we want to keep it entry level. Why? Well, your entry-level offer is going to make it really easy for people to say yes right there in the room. Again, they may have walked in a complete stranger to you before that hour, or come onto your webinar from Facebook or from another friend or colleague who sent out an email and they don't know you. So if you make an entry-level offer, it's very easy. It's less high pressure, and they can say yes right there in the room. Now, that entry-level offer is also going to work for the most number of people, right? We already talked about that. So it's going to allow you to serve the greatest number of people and create the greatest number of new clients. Now, if you've studied online marketing at all, or just marketing at all, sales at all, it's easier to sell to somebody who's already bought something from you. So the more clients that we can create in the room, the more sales that you're going to generate in the long run from your talk. I hope that's an aha. I hear a light bulb somewhere in the world. Someone got a light bulb. It's like an angel got their wings. Your entry level also requires no one-on-one time to deliver, really, right? Maybe a little bit of customer support, and it's totally scalable and leveraged. So there's tons of reasons why this entry level offer is, generally speaking, doesn't mean it's always, because again, if I'm working with you one-on-one or you're a consulting client, there's scenarios where that's not going to be what we're going to offer. Again, it depends on what bucket you need to fill, but for most people, this is the way to go, and I'll tell you why. Because when you make your offer, and you're going to want to jot these steps down in your notes. When you make your offer, first you're going to do what I call like a little high-end hat tip. It's a little nod to that awesome rock star. There's a couple of them in every audience. They're ready to work with you at the highest level. They want it. They don't want to be in your entry-level program. They're past, just getting information products. There's a lot of people out there like myself where that's just not where we're at anymore. It's fine if you are, but when you grow beyond it, you want that higher level, more customized help. So we're going to do a little hat tip. Think of it like, when you run into somebody, and you might see them across the room at a party, and you just give them a little nod, like, hey, what's up? That's what I'm talking about. It's like a little wink and a nod. Okay. So it's not a big pitch, and I'll talk about how to do this in a second. Then we're going to guide people into a free gift. Another free gift? Yes. Another free gift. So it could be like, maybe you came up with, more than one idea up here. Like maybe one of these I give in advance and one I give in my talk, right? Okay, awesome. So we do a little hat tip. I'll tell you what that sounds like in a second. Then we direct everybody in the room can take advantage of the free gift. Then we've got the main offer just for those people ready to work with you. We're going to recap what the heck we just said, and then we're going to rally the room, get everybody excited to step into action. So here's how that's going to work out. Mid and high-end offers, right? You're saying, well, if you're selling like the entry level, how do I sell the mid or high-end offer? Remember again that there's that certain percentage, they're just ready. So you don't really need to do much other than give them that wink and a nod. And I'll share with you how that works in a second. And then if you remember from, where's that little swoop? Let me find it. We're also going to hear as people buy your entry-level offer, we're going to support them in rising up. So we can get another 20% of people to move from your entry level up into a mid or high level offer by just supporting them in the delivery, right? Giving them really great service. So 20% can upgrade after they buy your entry level program. I've got clients who upgrade 40% up into their high-end mastermind, and then their mastermind members stay for years. So I've got clients who really serve at a high level, and so they're going to see really great results, as I hope you do too. Here's how we call out the few. When I talk about that little hat tip, so we get to the end of your talk, you've delivered your great content, you're about to make your offer. Before you make your main offer, you're just going to say this. And this is just you can customize the script, right? This will give you an idea of how it sounds. So you could say, typically an audience of this size, there's few people who are going to want my personalized help implementing this, and that's great. You're ready for that higher level of customized private support is definitely not for everyone. Now I'm going to set the bar for who I want to work with privately, and that's what you want to do in this next section. So first, we're just kind of tipping the hat. We're calling out the rock stars in the room, and I don't mean that they're better than other people. I just mean they're already at a higher level of being able to implement, okay? So we set the bar. So it's not for everyone. It's just for those of you who already have a business, it's successful, you have an email list, you're probably already getting great results for your clients, you've been giving talks and webinars, and what you really want now is my customized help, refining your brand to attract ideal clients, your talk and your sales funnel so that it's more high converting and more leveraged. So that's setting the bar, the criteria for the kind of client that you want to work with. So that's part 2. And then part 3 is just how it works. So it's like, call them out, set the bar, what's the criteria of the kind of client you work with at the high level, and then how does it work? So I would just say, working with me privately is a monthly investment. It starts at about $2,000, goes up to 10K consulting days. If you'd like to chat about that and see if it's a good fit, there's no pressure. Just be sure to check the box. It says private Rock Your Talk and Profit session. And then be sure to hand that to me at the back of the room so that we can say hi, and then we can just chat for a quick moment. So easy. Honestly, I've made it take like 5 times as long as it would if I just said it straight through, right? Super casual. Again, a little wink and a nod to those people ready to play at that level. So then you shift immediately to everybody. And you go, now don't worry, because that's not for everyone. And I literally have something for everyone in the room. I'm not going to leave anyone hanging. And so now we're going to give 2 things to the rest of the room. A free gift to everyone. And then the paid offer, your main course, which again, should help most people in the room, those people who are actually ready to get rocking and actually start getting results with whatever it is you were just giving your talk about, right? So here's your, this is a trifold, by the way. This is like one of the order forms that we like to use here at Speak, Serve, Grow. And I actually custom create these now for my private clients, which is super fun. But you'll see there's 3 boxes. So there's a free gift. This is, if you want to work with me privately, you would check this box here. And then this would be the box for the paid program. So there's 3 boxes. Again, free gift, that's for everyone. Hat tip, that's for that 1 to 3% rockstar already implementing at a high level. And then most everybody else, boom, they can go right into your entry-level product or program. Okay, great. Why does this work so well? So many things are happening all at once when we do this. You're positioning yourself really well because you're talking about the higher level clients that you get to work with, and that helps people see the true level that you can play at, right? Even if they're not quite there yet. So you're going to attract that higher level rockstar client, again, who's ready to implement that higher level. Your main offer, though, is going to serve a broader audience, which is awesome. You get to serve tons of people. You get to help the majority of the room, which to me is like the most fun thing. I love my high level clients. I do, because again, it's like being able to hand somebody a bazooka gun for what is much too violent of an analogy, but it's like they can really make a ton of money with little tweaks and changes that I might make to their sales strategy, to their order form. Little hinges can swing really big doors in the hands of the right people, right? It's also really fun to be able to help a lot of people, with a more entry-level offer. So both of those things can happen. And the other really cool thing when you start out with that little hat tip is you're doing kind of a price juxtaposition, right? So if here that says $2,000 a month to work with you privately, or $3,000 or whatever it is, $5,000, now when the person comes down here to join your group coaching program or buy a course, it should feel relatively inexpensive in comparison. So not only you're just doing tons of great things at once, right? You're getting the rockstar clients, you're making it possible for everybody to get a gift, you're getting everybody into your more entry-level offer, and that should feel really affordable because it is in comparison to what it would take to hire you privately. So here's what this looks like in action. As an example, if I'm out rocking my talk, I'm going to go give that talk. It might be live, or it might be as a webinar, or I might be speaking at someone's live event. Great. Before that talk is happening, once I get it booked, we're going to be warming people up, right? We're giving a little free content. I'm giving them an idea of what I'm going to teach in the talk, getting people really excited and giving them a little bit of a results in advance with that initiation sequence we talked about earlier. I go give the talk itself is going to build more connection and trust. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. But remember, we've got good meaty content there in the middle. actionable content. So we're creating a ton of goodwill. We're giving people a little bit of results, but they also know, okay, it's just an hour talk. I haven't learned everything that Kristin has to teach me, right? So we give them a pathway to step up and keep working with me. Awesome. We're doing all of this in a way that's really natural. We're repelling non-ideal clients by doing all of this in a way that's in alignment with our brand personality, right? My personality style is not for everyone, so I'm going to repel people who don't want to work with me. Okay. But I'm also going to instantly attract the kind of people who dig the kind of content I deliver and the way I deliver it. That's what you want to be doing as well. So then we go into that comfy close, right? We do a little nod to the high-end client, but then we just quickly invite everybody to take advantage of a gift that we've brought for everyone, creating goodwill. And then we're inviting those people who are ready to step up and start implementing in a deeper way the little tidbits you've been giving them in your talk. We invite them to come into your course. So I'm not trying to be everything to everyone at all, right? And neither should you. I'm also not pressuring anybody into a course. We're not trying to cram every circle into a square. That doesn't work either. But we're definitely offered to help everyone who wants to get help, right? Or giving a pathway to those people who are ready to get started. And there really is a pathway for everyone, even though our main offer is the only thing we're actually pitching to people. That's the thing that we're really signing them up for, is this main offer. There is an opportunity for everyone to kind of choose the level that works for them, right? So what happens when we do that is the whole room gets into motion, right? No one is being left out, and we're not creating a scenario where it's like only the 2 people who want to join my mastermind should now rise and walk to the back of the room to be crowned with a crown, right? It's not that weird, awkward, elitist thing. It's like everyone in the room is in motion, whether you're getting a free gift or you're buying a program or you're going to, buy a VIP day. Everybody has what they need. So it creates a lot of good vibes in the room. So most of the sales are going into the entry-level program. And obviously, in my case, that's where they're learning to create their brand and their system and their talk. And then the select few who are choosing to work with me privately, now I'm going to help them at that custom level where it's like me and them working together. We're we're creating their brand first. Then we're outlining their talk, their sales funnel, their sales forms, all of their marketing materials. All of that gets created so that it's really high converting and really leveraged. So we create the brand personality, the talk, the funnel, offers, upsells, downsells, all of that fun stuff is happening. So the process is that the initiation is building the trust and connection, right? The talk is then deepening that connection, serving them in a big way and enticing the right people. The offer at that point should feel like a no-brainer. The return on investment and the return to your client, because you've delivered so much value, should be really obvious, right? I mean, if you think about even a $10,000 consulting client, for me, they can get that back easily in one talk. If they go give a good talk, that is doable, right? One talk, one client. So that's how I built my name, my reputation. People like having me out to their events because they know it's not going to be a big pitch, high pressure, icky, bad vibe situation. Everybody's going to be pretty happy, thanking them for me coming out. They're getting free gifts. Everybody's happy, right? And then obviously if they're working with me, hopefully we're getting great results and they're happy there too. And that's when my clients are seeing the same kind of results, right? They get referred out to speak again and again and again because of the way they handle themselves and the way they give their talks. So the other important thing to point out is that in this model this example really that I'm painting for you, we're not just filling your days wall to wall with strategy sessions, which is what a lot of people recommend to get those high level clients. It's more like we're swooping most people in that entry level. We're highly qualifying the people that you're going to meet with one-on-one so that I already know, for instance, if I'm going to meet with them, that A, they're a good fit for my program and I can help them, and that B, that they're really serious and they actually want to work with me. Now, when we get on the phone or we get on Zoom and we actually talk, we're going to make sure it's a good fit. There's no pressure, but I'm not filling my day with a bunch of tire kickers, and neither should you, right? So this is how I've generated multiple 6 figures from a signature course, another multiple 6-figure income stream with group coaching, another multiple income stream with private coaching, all of this really stemming from one talk.